So let's discuss where you began, kind of what your beginning journey was with, the cancer, kind of where it began, when you were diagnosed, what you were diagnosed with. Let's start there.
Okay. My name, right?
Yeah.
Say my name. How old I am?
No, you don't have to say your name.
Yeah.
You can say your first name. My name's Elia, and I was diagnosed with at this particular time, and then we'll just go with it.
Hi, my name is Elia. I was diagnosed with ovarian cancer in the middle of September last year, and got my surgery the 26th of September. And then took me, I would say, almost a month to find Delta Institute, because I didn't want to do chemo. So, and then I started coming here.
So, and you can look at me whenever you have to look at the camera. But when we talk about, let me see if I can get a chair loose. Rip this one. When we talk about chemo, let's talk about that a little bit. Why was it? I can't even remember what happened with the chemo. The doctors were telling you to do the chemo, but...
Yeah. I just felt like chemo and radiation just wasn't for me. I knew that I wasn't going to be able to function at work and or at home or in my life. So, and I already had a lot of problems like fibromyalgia, digestive problems. So I just, I was praying and to find something different. And then I was led to this one herbal store, and I was able to find someone that talked to me about Delta Institute, so that they did things a little bit different.
So when we talk about you're stage 4, weren't you?
1.
Oh, you were stage 1. I couldn't remember. So let's talk about what it was that they described. What it was that you learned about Delta Institute that was a little different. That it was based on the science. That there was serious science and biology involved in it, rather than something that was, kind of like herbal or some of the alternative health. What was different in that respect?
So I really liked the way that, sorry.
No problem. That's what we have editing for. No, what was it? Who was it? I can't even remember. It was
John. I can't remember.
In the store. Where was it? What store?
Sherlin's.
Oh, okay. It's John at Sherlin's, of course.
Yeah.
That's right. So yeah,
he told me to call him back, but I never called him back.
You were talking to somebody in a health food store, and then when you learned that that the science was more scientific than alternative health, kind of, whereas one is, has a scientific explanation for what's happening, and the other, sometimes you really don't know what's happening, and it's, and how that helped.
For me, it was like an alternative, because it was something besides chemo, so it was something different. Yeah. So, do you want me to talk about that?
Yeah, talk about that a little bit.
I don't know how to put it into words.
Any words you want?
So at the Sherlin store, herbal store, the way that he was just describing like some of the things that Dwayne does at Delta Institute really brought to my attention that it could be something different than chemotherapy. And then I learned that it was going to be much better for my body. Instead of like killing all of my cells and of my body, it was just targeting the bacteria that was causing my cancer. And that a lot of people don't know about. And I try to tell people, and people look at me a little bit weird, but that's pretty much how it is. So it kills the bacteria and the cancer cells and nothing else in your body. So.
And then I'd like to hear kind of what your experience was with the first injection, and then the responses. let's talk first about the negative cycle, the chills, and let's just talk about that injection, because I think the first one was kind of mild, and then finally, boom, when it hit. So just so you could start out by saying, after the injection, some of the reactions that I experienced were just as Delta described. They were bump, 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 and then just kind of lay them out.
The first time I did my injections, the injections actually hurt a little bit. The first time my husband did it, and then I was on the oxygen for about 2-3 days straight. And then I started feeling some tightening in my stomach, in the area where I had the surgery. So, and I did feel kind of like achy all over. The areas that I had a lot of pain in, like my neck, my hip, that's where I felt the most. But that first time, it took about 3-4 days to really kick in, and then I would say for about 6 hours I felt really sick. Felt like I had kind of like the flu. Not throwing up or fever, but like really achy, hard to move. So, and then it progressed to the other times that I did my injections. I had different symptoms, so it's like every time I have different things going on, like fever, and then one time I had a rash. I was like red all over. That was a little scary, but it's just part of the treatment. It's just part of the bacteria dying. So let's see, what other symptoms?
You talked about chills, right? You had pretty good chills there. Did you talk about that?
Yeah.
You said chills.
Not chills. I only talked about when I got all red.
Did you talk about chills?
So when I had that rash all over, I had chills, and I had a fever that night. And it took about, I would say, 3 hours, and then the next day I was like, I felt brand new, like I felt really good. So, but every time is different, so I never know what's coming.
Right. So talk about the best times that you can remember in terms of the upside, just in the feeling of general health and that type of thing.
Okay. Something that I noticed happening in my body is that I had less pain. I was always dizzy, so that went away pretty quick. And then I'm able to concentrate better at work. And it also helped with my incision, like the scar and the way it looked. So.
And then talk about I should go pull it out of your file. I think I have a copy of your last blood test, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me go pull it out of the file real quick. And then
it was.
And then you can read. You can just kind of. It'll be kind of like reading your blood test, so it'll give a little more. Yeah, your CEA. I can't remember if it was a CEA or what it was. No, it was a.
Yeah.
125. You can just kind of like reading it and say my last my last CA 125 reads 7, and I feel like and then you can just start talking about kind of long term, kind of the hope that you're feeling, in terms of the change that it creates on a long term perspective.
Okay. So the cancer marker was at about 500 before I got the surgery. and then it went down to 11, and then I started Delta Institute and went all the way to 7, and so it's the CA125. Right now it's at 7, and this was done like about a month ago. So what was the other part?
Just talk about, I'm really feeling, I'm confident about the future. It's a real major drama and impact on somebody's emotions to have cancer, first of all, and then to know the ineffectiveness of chemo. It's like crap. It's so ineffective that what's going to happen, and then as generally what I see is when people come through the program, they start to have quite a bit of hope, and they're like, okay, now I'm feeling pretty confident, I'm feeling pretty good about the future and that type of thing. So, how long have you been married?
Almost 14
years.
Yeah.
Holy smokes, I was thinking you guys were newlyweds. I was going to say, just being recently married 14 years ago, I'm about ready to kill my husband,
Our anniversary is coming in. So I wouldn't have done it any other way. Chemo just wasn't for me, or radiation. And what Delta Institute provides, it really gives me hope for the future that my cancer is not going to come back, and maybe it's going to help me also with my fertility problems, so I can have kids in the future. So.
And maybe talk about how it's maybe you feel like you want to share it with other people, and that you feel like more people should know about these type of treatments, because the chemo and the radiation aren't the most effective things in the world, something like that.
Okay. The really sad thing is that a lot of people, or most people, don't know the causes of cancer, and they don't know about Delta Institute. The only thing they know pretty much is chemo, so it's pretty sad that that's the only option that's out there for people, and only people that do research and really look into it, or find someone that knows about Delta Institute, are the ones that come here. So it'd be nice to have it more like mainstream, so people can actually get treated for get treated with the right treatment, not just chemo.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm never good at putting things into words.
That's exactly what I would have said. And now, at the conclusion of our interview, we're going to go ahead and administer some chemotherapy into the system. And
I keep talking about it.
We get that on video, Oh, just kidding. Okay. So, all right. Well,
just let me know if that didn't work, and I'll try better next time.
That's good.